absolutely slaughtered it. So we'll see if it gets any better for Liquid here in Game 2, but TSM hoping to win their 7th straight match, 2-0 if they can do it. They haven't dropped a game in several weeks now. As we start with picks and bans.
Shen taken off the table once again for Lorlo. Talia going to be taken away from Bjergsen, who has picked up a couple player of the games on the champion.
Yeah,
since he started playing it and has looked excellent on it.
He absolutely has. We'll see what the rest of the bans end up being and how much these players want to target each other and what everyone considers important. You can see the last game's pick and bans down at the bottom of your screen right there. The Braum ban, of course, sticking with the blue side ban, essentially. You kind of look down there. Liquid banned it last game when they were on blue. TSM now banning it this time when they are on blue.
Yeah, the thought being it's not worth first picking, but it's too good to give away maybe in that second round of the draft. So
yeah,
if you can pick that up in combination with a Rek'Sai or something, it's a very nice first round. The question really becomes, does TL make any serious adaptations? Because for TSM, everything went right. You don't really need to worry about serious changes to making your draft, and it's actually going to be the ban on Bard. Wow.
Bard ban is interesting. It makes me think that Liquid are going to really try to show a first round red side Karma pick and push Biofrost down. And you know, saying, hey, TSM, you'd better first pick this Karma or we're going to take it and try to, you know, capitalize on the support champion pool, you know, hoping that they can get something even different on the red side.
I feel like last ban's probably going to be Vladimir just based on the pick and bans so far. I think that Vladimir has been almost always taken off the table. If you leave it up, that's almost guaranteed to be the first round pick for TSM.
Yeah, it's really likely to be the case here. Azir's still on the table. The final ban actually going to go in as Nami, so Liquid really trying to pinch the support pool.
And the question is, does TSM kind of take the bait? Do they pick up Vladimir now? Or do they say, hey, you know, we actually really need this Karma for the 2v2? If they take the Karma, they're giving over Vladimir to Phoenix very likely. That may be the trade that they're trying to make, but it's, yeah, no chance. Vladimir picked up right away, and now TL is going to have to try to really make good on that bot lane investment.
And I can't imagine Liquid would have to be this sad about it, though, as Azir is up, and it's absolutely one of Phoenix's very best champions. You get that early Rek'Sai grab as well. This feels like a reasonable trade of resources, honestly, if you're Liquid. I actually, so far, like what Champ 6 looked like for the red side.
So do I. I think it's pretty smart, especially talking about Vladimir that hasn't been doing nearly as well this patch. Will it continue to succeed here for TSM? We'll find out. But yeah, Azir going to be available. Sivir is actually still on the table here too.
Oh, true.
Sivir Karma, very good bot lane, has been ultra high priority. I think it works well with Rek'Sai and with a lot of the kind of champions that Lorlo likes to play. Those speed-ups are also very advantageous.
Totally agree. So we'll see what that matchup ends up being. Other positive thing for Liquid is now they can counter-pick both solo lanes. They already know who the mid laner is with 90% certainty, and they've got last pick to make sure top lane goes well. So there's the early Gnar. You have an obvious really going into that, you assume, here. For Lorlo, who loves the champion, and the matchup looks good. Azir's already locked in. Didn't even take him any time.
Yep, Azir gets insta-locked there. And do they decide to go for the 80 carry, hide that top laner for a little bit more? Depends really what they want to show. And Sivir was taken away from Fabi. Sivir with that combo so good, but Ashe is still available, as is the Jhin. Fabi's going to be definitely comfortable on any of those picks.
And you can see Loco talking specifically to Fabi. What matchup do you want to play? I know Ashe is not great into it because it's easy to spell shield. So he says, no, I'd rather win lane. Let me get something more dominant. Lucian Karma, one of many teams' very favorite bot lanes right now. We're seeing this combo actually very frequently now. They will hope to win the 2-on-2 with this.
And I have been expecting these sorts of lanes to really look dominant in the 2v2s, but it just hasn't been the case lately. In the series earlier today, we saw it multiple times. At best, it was basically going even, and it was not really carving out those advantages that you sometimes expect to see from the Lucian Karma. So if you're putting a heavy investment into it and Sivir coming out even, I feel like that's advantage Sivir.
I totally agree with you. So we'll see if Liquid can find an advantage here in the 2-on-2. Otherwise, it does all go away. Italy, and now Alistar actually for Biofrost. And yeah, many scenes are happy to play Alistar. It's one of the more high priority champions, but this is one where in North America, after 3 support bans and a first round red side support pickup, Alistar is like, well, yeah, I guess it's next up on the list.
Yeah, one of the exceptions is actually Special, who loves playing melee supports. He's almost always on Alistar and Braum, and this is kind of a little bit of a run back we saw in that lane on Friday when it was Apex playing Alistar and the Sivir, and they were going up against C9, who was playing the Karma Lucian. were able to go even with the melee support. So it's definitely possible, but I still would think it should be a heavy advantage for TL in that bot lane. It will be Aurelia as expected that you called out. So Aurelia, good matchup into that Haunter. Lorlo with a solo kill in game 1 on Haunter. Can he repeat here? And can the TL bot lane avoid the disaster that happened in game 1? Keep themselves even, allow these solo laners who are doing pretty well to get some advantages.
And what's interesting actually is more and more we're seeing Gnar as the go-to blind pick top laner. And even though 90% of the time people are playing Aurelia into it, it seems like no one seems to care that much about it. No. But all the top is like, yes, he's going to play Aurelia probably. I'm okay. It'll be fine.
It's kind of replacing Shen a little bit. Shen's getting banned a lot. And as far as picks goes, it's actually the most picked top laner by quite a lot now in this patch. So it's definitely seeing a ton of play. It is pretty solid. I do feel like it's one of those champions, though, that can be very difficult to execute as far as in the team fights, landing those good stuns, having your TPs timed really properly. And sometimes the Gnar can fall very flat.
Yeah, he is unreliable sort of by design, and teams have to play around those windows. Yes, you can control to a certain extent how much rage you gain, how much rage you fall, get in combat, keep leashing a wolf camp to build up the bar, who knows what. But at the end of the day, you still have to play around an extra mechanic on one individual champion, and that's going to be up to Haunter to do that right here. We are getting ourselves ready for game 2 of this match. TSM have won 15 games straight. They're hoping to make it 16 now with this game 2 against Liquid, who are hoping to hold on to what they can here in standings. TSM will lock in a playoff bye if they win this game, lock down the match 2-0. Liquid, thankfully for them, C9 have lost earlier today, so they hold on to 3rd, but would love to keep holding on to a top spot in the standings. And here we go with game 2.
Bjergsen took Storm Raider Surge this time around, so going to be looking for the speed ups. Doesn't have Ghost, so maybe that's kind of the trade-off he's thinking. Take the TP. If you're able to burst some little damage in there, you can really fly in with Storm Raider Surge. And Vladimir already has speed ups kind of built into his kit, so we'll see if that does come into play. TSM looking for a sneaky play. They're going to try to force their way in here. Did Phoenix actually spot them?
I don't believe he did. That's why Bjergsen pushed in so hard, is to allow the team to capitalize. But outside of a flash pulverize, Biofrost does have exhaust, but seems unlikely they would kill off Dardoch, and in fact, they were not able to. It will give TSM deep wards, but that should be a surprise to almost no one.
Still a clever little play there. Bjergsen pushes back Phoenix. TSM moves in to get that deep vision, and we have Matt and Fabi actually just hiding out here in the top lane, perhaps expecting the lane swap in advance. And they got way past those wards, so TSM is going to have no idea where these guys are. Are they waiting in the bot lane? Are they in top lane? And Biofrost, at least, is heading over to mid lane, so I think they're waiting for them to show. This is something that CLG does sometimes, just going to send their dual lane of mid.
Yep, and it's obviously TSM really trying to find out where these champions are. Haunter, if he finds the lane matchup that he wants, great. If not, he can TP to the other side of the map and keep playing from there.
They tricked them, so they didn't see anyone walking by there. So TSM says, okay, they're bot side. We have that deep ward there. They must not be on this side of the map, and so they're going right up. And this is a great start for TL. TL has actually just kind of baited this out, still not showing because they want this 2v2 so badly, and they're going to get it. So will they be able to do something with it?
Yeah, the matchup they wanted, the 2-on-2. Doublelift and Biofrost walk in.
Oh god,
and say,
Doublelift doesn't know they're there. He's got face check.
He's going to get walked right in onto it. That's already Flash being burned, as well as 500 of his health right there.
Wow.
Ooh, that is not something that Doublelift really needed.
And if you thought this matchup was bad before,
it's now abysmal, especially a level 1 Alistar is practically useless as a champion. Liquid will have priority in leveling up first.
Especially, he started Q. He started pulverize.
Can't even heal to keep him alive.
Exactly. This is not a guy starting heal. He's going to be pretty worthless. And Dardoch, did he actually spot him? Yeah, he did spot Svenskeren over on that red buff. Very early move here from Svenskeren. Going to be looking to take it away. Can Dardoch get in and deny? Resets,
but Dardoch gets the small pieces of the buff, and honestly, Sven didn't get too much done. He did get 2 camps, so doesn't feel terrible for him, but Dardoch managed to jump over in time to keep this all afloat. No red buff steal for him. It's a route we've seen before, and look at this. Yeah, Fabi. Again, he said, he's dead!
Got him!
He's dead! Beautiful play. First blood goes over to Matt. Liquid answering back just like in the previous game TSM did to them.
Except this is even more impressive. This is straight up 2v2.
Yeah.
They get the advantage themselves. very intelligent play. It starts by baiting them into the lane swap, by getting there immediately and hiding out. The fake check rewards them with the flash, and here it is once again. Doublelift still level 1.
Why is Doublelift fighting? You're level 1. You are not allowed to fight for this farm.
And he has just no chance to get out. Flash forward. Second part of the mantra Q comes down. Free kill for TL. Things looking good. Only downside is really that it did not go on the Lucian, unfortunately.
Yeah, Biofrost honestly a late exhaust as well. Fabi had already gone through several rotations of spells and auto attacks before that summoner ever came in. And the funny thing is, I'm actually reminded of a Spring Split game with Piglet, where the same thing happened to Doublelift and Yellowstar, actually.
Yeah.
It was against Lucian and something else, right? It was Janna, I believe it is, against like an Ezreal Alistar, and, well, level 1 Alistar doesn't do anything, and they just got jumped on.
Dardoch finds Svenskeren pretty low.
Yeah. Okay, so TSM having to lick their wounds. A great start for the Liquid duo. We'll see how much else they can get. They picked for the lane. They played to get the matchup. They guessed correctly. Props to them. Now they've got to abuse as much as they possibly can. More poke coming in, damage in a Biofrost. As finally Alistar has learned his heal, the triumphant roar, though it doesn't really seem like it right now. It's more of a sad, dejected whimper trying to keep the health bars afloat. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, I'm down 10 CS.
Either way, TSM, if they can actually slow this down a bit, the lead isn't that bad yet. Nice engage!
Biofrost goes in for the combo, but he's going to miss the javelin. But still, look at the damage output allowed. Matt lands his shields, exhausts Svenskeren, and after he comes in, Biofrost low on health. Fabi get hit by the crossblade, and when they get away, 2 summoners lost by TL, none for TSM to get in.
Good job. Nice combo there by Biofrost. Had Svenskeren landed his spear, I think it would have been a kill.
Yeah.
Just barely missing, though, and now they're looking for the bot side punish. Can they execute this dive properly? Let's find out.
Orlo and Haunter.
This is going to be big.
Okay, here we go. The knockup's going to get in. There's the damage up, but there's the kill. Maybe he's going to flash the chase, and Dardoch gets away with 200 HP, healing back up, running out. Bjergsen teleports in and gets nothing for his efforts. Priority back to Phoenix in the mid lane. Bjergsen gets away with a farm.
Really good play from TL on the bot side. Yes, it costs them the summoners, but still they nail it. Really good execution. Dardoch starts it off. He gets aggro, interrupting the jump there from Haunter, and Lorlo following in, full committal. Dardoch tanks exactly how many turret shots he can take. Good stuff, but Sven still up here on the top side, making sure his bot lane does not fall even further behind.
Well, here's Liquid. Their early game is the best part of their game. This time they've got the winning lanes for sure, and they were able to actually make both side lanes win right now. So you got to imagine Liquid, so far the formula is certainly working out. The recipe is being built. It's in the oven. And give it 15 minutes, it'll turn into a beautiful Liquid win casserole if it keeps going this way.
It's pretty unfortunate that Fabi was never actually able to base and buy. So they never had an item advantage actually developed from that starting point, where it could have been, you know, some items to nothing from Doublelift. And because Doublelift has gotten some help from their jungler, Svenskeren has been up there a lot, he's actually picked up a lot of CS. He's only down 5 CS now, and Fabi with the assist doesn't really matter as far as that advantageous matchup. So although it is an edge now, it really hasn't amounted in anything because they were never able to buy and extend it.
Yeah, it's gold in your pockets, which doesn't really mean very much at this stage. You've got to convert it into items. You've got to invest it in your future success. And of course, Doublelift wanting to push the wave as hard as he can. Biofrost even helping with the trample passive, pops the heal, walks into some minions. And TSM will equalize the minion score with this. They will also make their own recall, and that's 6 minions that Liquid are not getting. It's instead just going to be Matt absorbing the XP, trying to last enter turret as support Karma. He's getting most of them, so good on him. That's, I believe, 4 out of the 6 CS grabbed. But now it's going to be a desynced recall, so Fabi's going to be alone for most of the first wave.
TSM swapping out. They want nothing to do with this 2v2, so they're going to send their dual lane bot, try to swap the Gnar away too, but this is already actually been called. Liquid is already making the rotation.
Wow, very heads up by Liquid to understand that TSM was going to swap down. That is, I'm pretty sure that is a blind read because no one else was really spotted other than the fact that Haunter was shoving really hard. Both these teams will be down to the bot side. Svenskeren, nice, takes the Scuttle Crab away.
Haunter's coming in, Dardoch needs to get out.
Yeah, he's able to jump back into the pillar. He had unburrowed to auto attack, had that burrow back down. Funnel goes away. Now both these teams are near the Drake, but Liquid with the stronger dual lane. I'm pretty sure I do like Fabi's items a bit more than like Doublelift's. More raw AD on one side, but Armor Pen is better.
Yeah, as far as the early items, but still, it's a good buy from Doublelift. you wouldn't think that they just got 2v2 killed very early on and we're that far behind. So he's looking solid, and definitely is not in a position where he's going to be super bullied by any means.
Totally agree. There is an advantage in items for Lorlo over Haunter, of course. Phage and a dagger. Feeling good against a stacking Jarm's Fist. We'll see if he can get any more out of this one, but yeah, Haunter certainly, much like Doublelift, not too far behind for how bad the matchup was looking with the kill earlier on in the game. TSM able to lick their wounds, the gold lead remaining at 1,200.
A lot of that credit does go to Svenskeren too, who equalized that matchup just by showing constantly, not allowing TL the time to really bully it out.
Right, I mean, Sven actually is up gold right now, despite the fact that Dardoch got 150 from an assist, so good by him. Good by the rest of TSM to keep it close. We'll see what else can happen now. As Liquid attempting to pressure on the bot side of the map. And the thing is, if they can push faster, they can get this Infernal Drake. It's pretty much every pro's favorite Drake to grab, so maybe that becomes a play and an important choice for them soon. Easy red buff, but Rek'Sai's actually coming top side without the Nidalee anywhere nearby, so Lorlo really wants some damage on a Haunter, pops the ulti, forces it rather, and if they can push this wave in, that can set up for a dive. Teleport will be up very soon for Bjergsen. Yeah, Dardoch gets his deep wards down.
Haunter smells it. He was hanging out that maybe Dardoch could be around. He was backing off. Svenskeren on the other side. They're going to be looking for this dive with Alistar. Going to be setting it up. Can they make the outplay?
Out of the turret. They've got to run back. And uh-oh, Matt's going to get Minotaur up right now. The headbutt pulver is coming in.
Nice flash, though.
Flashes away. Makes Sven flash out as well. Biofrost pops the ulti to live. And a canceled teleport from Lorlo. Didn't actually want to be part of the fight after all. Misjudged what was needed. That's a 3-minute cooldown.
Now it's the return. Dardoch has been spotted out. Can they make the play onto Haunter?
He's going to limp away. But it's going to be a wave and change denied. Similar to what Liquid lost, to be honest, is they're also forced off their own turret. Now damage on the turret themselves. Lorlo really wants in into Haunter. Jumps in, gets a slow. Hyper is going to mean a little bit, but not terribly much, as this ensures that those topside minions don't get much. Lorlo's still waiting for the Q cooldown. Able to kill the wave off cleanly enough. But here's the thing, TSM got priority on the bot lane. They forced the recall, so they actually are the squad who get the Infernal Drake. Liquid chose to snowball top lane, and by virtue of those decisions, TSM actually are going to get more out of this.
Yeah, they are, and Doublelift is going to get this local gold for himself, and he is up actually on gold now. He's up a fair bit of CS, he's up a couple hundred gold from that start. It is fantastic. Biofrost getting caught though.
He has to flash away from this one, very low on resources. Honestly, you may see Liquid be able to return to the scene of the crime and get more done. Biofrost missing the ulti still, of course. Got to make sure there's no wards. He knows Biofrost recalling in that brush. Doesn't care about it too much, though. And he's now just going to look for what could have been a Doublelift, but isn't. Instead, it's going to be a turret. So, because of the extra time spent by TSM to knock down the Drake, it gave Liquid the tempo advantage on the rest of the map. Able to get back to the bot side, and it's going to mean damage, if not the complete turret down here.
They should be able to get it with the next wave coming up here. Sven is looking to defend, though.
Dangerous. That's dangerous, Svenskeren.
He's coming in behind them.
Comes in for the root as well. Look at the damage over they've got. Dardoch, though, taken out by Doublelift. That was smart by TSM, and now here comes the rest of the squad. Matt running out of HP. No summoners up. Doublelift will get this chase pretty easily. One more hit will do it, and it's a double kill. Now Fabi is out of resources. Running from Haunter, but that is a Mega Dart. That's a stun to the wall. 234 gets him the kill. 3-2 TSM getting several in that encounter.
Really nice play. Bjergsen not even needed, just goes right back to mid lane. And you can see the TPs are already coming in from TSM. Both the players make the move. Dardoch taking a lot of turret damage there. Needs Doublelift, able to get the initial kill into 3v2. Svenskeren goes in, pops right back out, and Fabi, no real chance for him to get out as Haunter is hot on his tails and does pick up the last kill.
Fabi's got nowhere to go. And a lot of that, though, was a miscue, I think, by Liquid. Remember in the earlier dive, Lorlo had started and canceled his teleport, so we could not match what Haunter had done, and Phoenix wasn't really able to punish Bjergsen's teleport either, so a sad failing from the Liquid solos, both with their own individual mistakes. Nice right there by Svenskeren to knock Phoenix off the recall and give priority to them in the mid side of the map. Liquid instead going to give away that turret and go for the Rift Herald.
And it's Lorlo again, putting the focus onto him. A lot of the hopes for TL will be riding on this guy as gold is very even, and he's the one with the advantage, and now having that Herald can look to extend it.
We'll see if they can get anything more out of this one then. It is on Lorlo, just like it was last game. This time around, though, a less catastrophic early game. It could have been better for Liquid, of course. They had gotten some nice kills in their lane, and good for TSM. They were able to turn that around, but now we are, as you mentioned, in a close gold game with a Rift Herald on one side, a Infernal Drake on the other, and that means a very concentrated piece of effort on Lorlo winning his matchup. He's going to head to the bot side.
Playing very even against Bjergsen. Both champions scale extremely well. So there's a lot of potential here for TL to be right in this game. And it's Lorlo heading down to the bot side, has his Trinity Force completed up against that Frozen Mallet from Haunter. Going to be hard to stick onto him. And one of the problems with this matchup becomes once you have these items is you go in, you queue onto this guy, you get this great early trade, but if Gnar ever gets away from you, you don't have another way back because you don't get the Q reset, and then he can chase you down with that Frozen Mallet and get a lot of return damage.
Oh, Matt knows he's being attacked. Hunt's going to come in, actually forced to use the exhaust to get Svenskeren off of him. I'm not sure if he quite needed it, but he thought he did. Lorlo now in a battle with Haunter, who turns into Mega Gnar. Lorlo going to have to regen back up with his Corrupting Potion and his W passive.
Dardoch has been spotted. Can they chase him down?
They're going to try a nice play by Lorlo to get around to this one. Hunt's going to miss the stun, which means he's done for. And the kill does go over to Lorlo. Dardoch does not quite take it away. Mid, though, pressured by TSM's jungler. And it means some turret damage.
Just back and forth. It's been a very heavy junglers duel. These two looking to make plays on each other. Bjergsen gets rooted.
Yeah, nice play by Matt to set up the damage up by coming out of Phoenix, but it's, of course, of Vladimir. He's got plenty of health bar for himself, plus 197 for hitting a minion with it, and he's okay at over 1,000 health.
Yeah, has the cowl, MR built up, and working on that CDR. Dardoch coming in, looking to get something done. Can he take it away?
Ooh, nicely done. Svenskeren managed to grab his own red buff, I do believe. Lorlo, a lot of priority down here. Haunter just now respawning, it seems. And, of course, we saw earlier, TSM were able to finally equalize the turret kill that Liquid had gotten earlier from the Dragon Take. And this means that TSM are winning in gold because of farm. Turrets and kills are equal. They're out-farming their opposition.
It spends up a lot of CS, and Sivir ulti gets popped.
They're running down to the bot side of the map to get away from everyone else. It looks like maybe they can cut off Lorlo. That's not going to be likely. He flashed over the Drake pit to get himself out of that. Looks like he was afraid of being chased down, and that was his easy way out.
Yeah, I think it's smart. You don't want to risk giving up a kill. And that shutdown as Gnar could have been coming up. So close the summoner, makes a safe call. And TSM up 1,000 gold, have the Infernal in their back pocket. And Bjergsen going to be very scary in these mid-game fights.
He definitely is. This Vladimir has farmed quite nicely. Highest farm in the game. Phoenix right behind him, though. Two great team fight mages. Just Vladimir better at killing the backline, better at staying alive under threat. So, yeah, Bjergsen, you know, it's a worthy first pick of a champion, of course. You mentioned win rate stats, but plenty of teams still really liking playing this Vladimir. Bjergsen will hope that he can really keep pushing forward on this game. Mid lane priority once again. Double knocks down the cannon minion. And here we go. This turret's going to fall shortly. No answer for Liquid. That will be going down.
Yeah, Biofrost's on the side, so if they come up too far to try to defend, he could have gone for the dive. So very well set up by TSM. Either way, things probably would have gone their way.
Definitely agree with this one. So TSM, 1,500 roughly the gold lead. Cloud Drake coming up soon as well. They're already in position. Pink ward is on to clear the wards out. They're now playing around the darkness. And Liquid haven't found much to do yet. Another ward is going to be lopped off.
Lots of members on this bot side converging around the dragon. We could have our first major team fight as Liquid is around here.
And TSM have to be a little bit careful. Cloud Drake, highest single target DPS of all of them, and from my talking with players, a lot of them are concerned about that. Sometimes it makes it not worth the risk, and looks like TSM did not want to make that play. So Liquid, now priority on the mid lane. They are first to the outer turret, but they've got to be afraid of getting jumped on, and they just rotate back over towards this Drake pit. A lot of that farm actually dying to the turret, but they've got priority now to run down the river as well. They were able to stop TSM's first look toward that. Dardoch wants to jump over the wall, doesn't find anyone to kill. Only finds some wards to pick off, and now it's Liquid's turn to play for the Cloud Drake. They can kill it fast.
With this top lane wave pushing in, it should be Liquid's if they see Doublelift up there, because Doublelift wants to respond. It's a huge wave. Do they make the move? They see him now, but not actually going for it. Maybe
I think they get mid first. I think they clear the mid lane. They make sure that Bjergsen has to sit down there.
Clear, though.
So Double is spotted top, Bjergsen spotted mid. This should be a rush down, but I think even at best, though, it's Liquid going in a smite fight. Svenskeren has flash available, and there's not that many amazing zoning tools for TL.
They're just going to give it up. It looks like Sven is up doing the Gromp, so they don't really care about this.
Miracle Boomerang! It was well timed, but a even better time smite by Dardoch.
And they're looking for the tier 2s. Doublelift has been pushing this entire time. Biofrost is going up there with him. Bjergsen pushes in mid lane. He can join up too, and they're looking to try to get another turret as the trade. They're already up quite a bit of gold.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of damage. Liquid hoping to respawn in time, but it's before 20 minutes, so no home guard bonus to run there faster. Cloud Drake saving the half a second, which maybe means a couple hundred turret health.
Not too shabby. Babby's able to clear out some of these waves. Is down almost 30 farm right now. And definitely falling behind pretty heavily in that AD carry matchup.
Yeah.
Especially when you take scaling into consideration.
And on a similar boat, though, of course, Hanser is down 30 as well under Lorlo, and that match wasn't getting any easier either. So
it doesn't, but I feel like it matters less, just because.
Yeah, I can see that.
As far as like team fighting and stuff, it's okay for your Nara to be kind of a bit behind. He's going to be building very tanky. He has a freeze right now, which could be tricky for him to break, and he's even on XP. Fabby, it's like he kind of hit his power spike timings and stuff, and he's not really able to get anything from it, even with those early kills in lane. So could be tough for him to deal with people like the Vladimir, like the Nara, as they pile in these team fights.
And, kind of unfortunate, too. You got a level 2 first blood and weren't able to push it really any farther than that. So I agree. TSM have done a great job of getting their AD carry back ahead. Doublelift looking solid at 2-1-1. Full kill participation. Everything except that first blood. He's been untouched otherwise. Lorlo hoping that he can continue to play with the advantage. He's going to walk into this freeze that Hanser had built. Mega Nara is going to be available. Lands a bit of a stun, some nice damage, but gets pushed into the wall, and Lorlo taking a whole heap of damage. But now Hanser's out of cooldown, so Lorlo can now start drain tanking this. But his W times out, meaning no healing was left. And now it's up to the response. Both junglers down here. Lorlo going to walk away.
Yeah, all of TSM actually coming down to the bot lane, so Lorlo gets out just in time. They trade the ultimates, no big deal, and Liquid is pushing heavily on the top side. They want to try to get a turret back, see if they can't even this gold up.
We'll see if they can do it, of course, pushing down hard, but Doublelift is already running over, so is Biofrost, and looks like they'll be there in time.
Yeah, more than enough time to get there and pick up that farm. So does start to slow down a little bit here as the team's kind of feeling each other out. Lots of scaling on both sides. Bjergsen has hit some pretty powerful points, though. Has the Proto Belt, has his Spirit Visage as well, so he's going to have massive amounts of healing. He can really kind of get into these team fights very easily, too, especially with the Stormraider Surge. So he has the speed ups, he has the engage, and he go for it.
See if he can. Dardoch again in a battle with Hanser. And looks like this Nara's really been able to keep control of his side of the map, at least well enough to not lose too much. Bot lane outer staying alive. TSM up 3 turrets to 2 because they had knocked down that mid lane earlier. Bjergsen has managed to keep Phoenix pushed in more often than not. And that's going to feel good, of course, for the Vladimir. His items are cheaper, so you kind of see him having 2 completed items, but the actual gold between Bjergsen and Phoenix is very close.
Yeah.
Nash's 2 is quite expensive, of course.
A little bit of an edge as far as the global gold for Bjergsen, but nothing too big at all.
No, absolutely not. 3,000, though, is a respectable lead for TSM. They've also got the in-combat Drake, so the pure stats are there for them as well. Dardoch slowed down by the Ryleigh's Nidalee trap. Now Sven running away. Looks like he's going to be just fine to do that.
And these two teams have just kind of been going back and forth so evenly. It does feel like TSM has some of the pressure advantage, though. They're controlling these waves very well. You see them making the first moves a lot of the time. And Bjergsen and Hanser down here on the tier 2, perhaps looking to set up a dive. I don't know if they know that Bjergsen is here. Will he go over the wall? Lorlo's going in.
Gonna fight Hanser, lands a stun, lands a fair bit of damage, but now he's tossed away his move block, so he's running out of health bars rapidly. Bjergsen, yeah, gotta come in there, make sure it happens. Hanser finds the stun, and that was priority right there. Liquid just did not respect the fact that teammates were roaming over. A nice kill for TSM, pushing themselves farther ahead.
They had no idea Bjergsen was there. Dardoch's looking to chase, though, but do they have the damage to actually clean anyone up? It doesn't look like it.
Well, Hanser is low on health, which doesn't really quite matter. Look at this, though. Mid lane still pressured. TSM completely out-rotating Liquid in the early game lead. The first 2 kills don't mean much anymore, as TSM have answered with complete map control.
It's 5K. Bjergsen Gets his first kill assist there, getting involved finally, and he made the roam, and they just read Lorlo like a book. They know he had the CS advantage. They have Haunter push up. Bjergsen is right there to come in and clean it up, and Haunter landing the stuns. That's all they needed. Easy kill on Lorlo. And Haunter is actually the one up a level now and a couple CS.
And we're just seeing really aggressive builds now out of the carries of TSM. Doublelift actually going Static Shiv, the most aggressive of all the Zeal items for Sivir there. Svenskeren going towards Lichbane as his second non-enchant item there after the Rylays. Really wants the damage output there. Haunter's on tank duty. He's got the Randuins. He's got the Frozen Mallet. He was able to survive the matchup and then set up the rest of his teams. 2 kills on him. Looks pretty nice.
Yeah, he's actually up 500 gold too, and Sven has a very big gold lead. He's power farmed so well. He's always been in the right place at the right time. Helped to really shut down any lead that Teal had built in the 2v2, and now he's looking very powerful himself, up 50 CS, 2,000 gold lead for Svenskeren in this jungle matchup.
So now how much more can TSM do? Almost 24 minutes into the game. A respectable 5 and change thousand gold lead. Sven wants the red buff steal away from Dardoch. Both junglers have their smites up. And here comes the play. It's time for Liquid to get their comeback in. A lot of slows coming in. And Lorlo, oh, he just one-shot Doublelift now into the back lane. He's looking for Svenskeren, who has built very squishy, keep in mind. So the chase is going to be there. A double kill for the Liquid top laner. And the chase down works for Phoenix. Liquid, 3 unanswered kills, and they're going to go Baron.
Lorlo came up huge there, but Bjergsen is still alive. Both the soul laners of TSM moving over. Still a good chance at a turnaround. Dardoch wants to engage.
I think Liquid have this one. Haunter having to run away. Randuin's on. Bjergsen to buy some time, but they're all going to survive this. And Lorlo stunned up. Haunter actually trades it back, but the smite is there. And would you believe it, TSM?
Nice
making
ulti.
a lot happen. A knockback for Phoenix makes it a 1-for-1. Both top laners dead, but Bjergsen's still able to slink out. And to lose a 3-for-0 and stop Baron, really impressive. But now Bjergsen butting up more than he can chew, and it's going to be him for lunch. Liquid actually a delayed ace, only losing 1.
Great job by Liquid, exactly what they needed. They get a turnaround kill there. And finally, this is how it starts. Svenskeren getting very aggressive, but the collapse comes in so quickly. Phoenix there, they didn't expect it. Lorlo joins in, and Lorlo making the big play here, goes forward onto Doublelift, deletes him, and then the chase down onto Svenskeren. He got the reset because he killed off Doublelift with that Q. He's able to ward over, gets the vision, second kill for him. In the meantime, Biofrost goes down. TSM, though, at least was able to stop the Baron, but did give up a lot of kills.
And an important part of Lorlo's build, I really want to talk about this because I think it's very important. He actually did Q max second on the Aurelia. He maxed the W for the sustain and everything else, but the Q max second gives him the damage to reset up caster minions, gives him a significantly shorter cooldown for the mid-fight repositioning, and also the burst to allow him to one-shot Doublelift to get the reset and then re-chase on a Svenskeren with a third Q in that fight.
And even just for the 1v1 against the Gnar, I think it's intelligent because you're going to have trouble sticking on this guy, keeping up with him. So that really short cooldown, Bjergsen's going to take some damage. Mid lane turret getting very low here.
That's Liquids. The turret's now 3-4, a pretty close score. During the replay, TSM did manage to pick up a second Cloud Drake for themselves, or their first of the game, but the second Cloud Drake that had spawned. So something answered back, but Liquid not wanting to give away the pressure here. The gold fairly close. They've knocked down mid-outer. Haunter spotted on the bot side of the map. The Rage Bar is running out. He's got teleport, but he's going to be a mini Gnar teleporting across. But nice minion wave clear by Doublelift. Static Shiv helping with that one.
And Haunter actually decided to stay and push another wave. He was basing, canceled right at the end of the base, and actually just came back to the wave, wants to push us in, make Lorlo respond. He's going to be down there, so Haunter can join up with his team, but both top laners have TP and will be able to respond.
And I think Lorlo now smashes this matchup. Blade of the Ruin King is now done, plus the Merc Treads for the CC reduction. I think Lorlo can really turn the screws to Haunter right now. Even though he is 2 levels down, Haunter's done a great job of getting XP.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Haunter also has a ton of armor at this point, so it's hard to even just kind of burst him down. Maybe you can win if he chooses to opt into that fight, but with the Frozen Mallet plus a lot of armor, you can always try to disengage. We'll see if Lorlo can make any of those outplays.
See if he's going to get it. There we go. The Azir Sun Disc falls down. A Haunter wants back in, but a nice shield from Matt gets them away. The budget Sivir ulti, as it were, and bot lane priority is now Liquids. Bjergsen sent to the top side to get top in their favor, as Baron Nashor is still up. And the recalls come in for most of these players in Liquid to reset. They're going to get their pockets lined first.
Zonia is being done for Bjergsen. That is big here too. That trifecta of items is going to make him so ridiculously tanky, hard to kill. You can rotate the Zonias with your pool and get extra spell rotations out over and over and over. It makes it so tough to kill this guy off.
And it's max cooldown reduction now for Bjergsen. All those items in inventory all add 10 CDR to him, and this is what you really want to be and to have when you're a Vladimir. Void Staff probably next with that blasting wand in the inventory. Liquid playing the ward control game. They got rid of those wards inside the Baron pit. You see Lorlo still threatening on a Hanser, but Hanser, you can see 15.5 the level for him. Lorlo only 14 and change, so more than a full level of experience lead for Hanser's Gnar.
And that can be the advantage when your team is doing well on the rest of the map. Hanser doesn't always have to join the fights. He can kind of just stay in the lanes, push it out, farm, and Lorlo has to try to be the guy that his team can rely on to make these plays, to make the collapses and get the kills and carve out the advantages that way. And unfortunately for Lorlo, it has put him down XP-wise.
Well, we'll see if he can find the catch-up there. Going towards Frozen Heart as his next build. As the Glacial Shroud comes into that. Thorn Mail or Guardian Angel probably the next one in for Hanser to also make him a very tanky Gnar. Only a smattering of magic resist in his build. He still knows he has to survive what Lorlo's putting down, so the Spectre's Cowl all he really gets to survive Phoenix's Azir.
It is pretty tough for Lorlo entering these fights too pre getting any MR because Bjergsen's going to be doing a ton of damage if he ever gets tagged by Svenskeren. They have a massive amount of AP burst that can come out and just instantly pop this Aurelia, who is not tanky by any means.
He has neither any significant bonus health or significant magic resist. It's the phage from the Trinity Force for some health and the Mercury Treads. But Svenskeren and Bjergsen both do plenty of damage to threaten. So yes, difficult to navigate for Lorlo in the teammates. They need something split up where he's not getting sieged down by those mages. And if they can navigate, then yes, Lorlo can assassinate. 2 damage items on him. Certainly going to make him a threat for Doublelift. TSM, though, up in the top side. This turret's nearly dead already, and that's going to be it knocked down quickly. Lichbane helps from
They go for the fight, though. It looks like they maybe want to try to come around behind them.
Attempted a flank. Gnar has the full Rage Bar right now. Is this going to be the play? Hanser would teleport in and be Mega Gnar if he wants to. Let's see if they look for it. Aurelia going to walk up this, and here comes the teleport to keep the team alive. Inhibitor turret's already dead. TSM pushing around. Bjergsen already has popped his Hextech Proto Belt. Now here comes the play. Damage onto Bjergsen. Hanser ready to transform into Mega Gnar. Inhibitor is down. Now can they wait out Mega Gnar and get the fight afterwards? It's going to start ticking down. Liquid playing with their time, playing with their food. No, it's going to be Biofresh going in fine to the bot lane, but Matt's going to flash away safely. Dardoch kiting away. A big Mega Gnar comes across, but here's Lorlo into the backside, but he can't find the damage. Not just yet. He's going to get popped the double kill already for Bjergsen. Make that a third coming through for Doublelift. TSM are slaughtering in this fight. Finally a pickup now for Phoenix, but he's got to turn around. A 4 versus 2 makes Bjergsen turn into a pool of blood. He may be able to do it. They're all He's going to flash the Q, not quite going to land. And Phoenix has to wait for another round of cooldowns. Hanser running quickly away, jumping back in, knocking up the Cloud Drake movement speed on both sides, but another boomerang slow is going to land, and TSM go +2 in that fight. Beautifully done, getting the inhibitor as well.
So close to being turned around there, though, by TL. If Phoenix could have got up, got a couple more kills, but TSM just played this brilliantly. They get past TL, they take down the inhibitor, and then the engage from Biofrost. Nicely done. Hanser tries to get in, follow it up. It's a little delayed because Dardoch actually interrupted him. Matt doesn't quite go down, but it's a backline now. Bjergsen getting so much damage out there. Phoenix finally starting to get involved. Actually waits a long time to really start getting into the action here, and wants to have the chase down, has the Rylai's very close to taking out Bjergsen, and W comes out just in time.
And he had flash ult the whole fight as well. At no point did he really try to go for the dive in and really get that one to set up. Also a point of quick contention as well. Lorlo was mid Blade Surge on what would have been a lethal blow against Svenskeren when he was killed, so half a second would have been all the difference. Now Lorlo is in a real bad spot. He is alone against all of TSM. An easy assassination. Bjergsen on a killing spree, 3-1-3 for this Vladimir. And TSM 7,000 gold up with equal kills. That is how much they're playing the map and playing the farm better.
Just looking so good, and it's top lane and hip down. They move straight to bot, get a pick, looking to extend the lead even further, and TSM are just seeming unstoppable these days. They want to go to Baron.
Like it. And yeah, we'll see if they can be stopped at Baron Nashor itself. 7,000 to lead. Bjergsen still split pushing with his Summoner Teleport available, so you know he can rejoin his team if a fight does come out. And it's Liquid who wants one. They find Hanser on the front side, double from the back. Locket shield comes in, a nice knockback by Phoenix to buy some time. Hanser's down to half HP, and it pulls in the teleport from Bjergsen. Dodging away from the Nidalee Javelin. Dardoch, though, gonna tunnel all the way back towards his base, and TL just delay the Baron.
Get back off, but Bjergsen did take the tier 2, so they get something out of it.
And they might lose actually one of their Nexus turrets as well. Super Minions were on that one, nearly going down. Lorlo barely keeps it alive. Those do regen, but slowly. Once again, they re-engage. Bjergsen is diving, and they've already popped off Fabi. And now Dardoch dangerously low as well. Phoenix has a turret to run back to. The static shift coming across. Nearly going to get the kill. The ricochet coming across. Lorlo just can't do much of anything. Slowed down by Bjergsen. A double kill already for this TSM mid laner. Lorlo going to run out of health rapidly, and it's going to be him staying alive. No! He's going to drop. Phoenix trades one back on a double lift. You're seeing the mid laners get a lot done. 3 for 1 so far in this fight. It's going to be 4 pretty soon as Matt tries to run away. Heals up pretty nicely, though.
Nexus turret's actually going down, and they're pinging onto the base. Svenskeren already in there. He is the Lich Bane, remember. They're just trying to stop the back. Svenskeren looking to end the game.
2 versus 4 with the inhibitor down. Super is to help as well. This could be it right now. TSM hoping to close out the series against Liquid. Even though they're only up 2 kills, they are that far ahead from the rest of the plays they have made as a team. The best that North America has seen in a long time, as TSM walk away just with 1 more turret as their spoils of war.
Backing out, want to play it safe, make sure they can close this out, no problem, and really giving that respect over to Liquid. Going to be pinging onto the Baron, looking to secure their victory with this neutral objective.
Here we go, on to Baron. They begin. No vision at all for Liquid, no one on that side of the map really either. This shouldn't be almost at all contestable, but maybe they try. Liquid knows they need a minor miracle, and TSM say, hey, look, if you're going to contest, fine. Let's just buy. Let's heal up. 9,000 gold's a huge lead. They can close out next push anyway.
Yeah, they have a lot of gold in their pockets after taking down all those turrets, so we'll be able to have some very big buys. You know, 2,800 gold here on Bjergsen. And Bjergsen, look how fast he's able to take out Fabi. Right in on top of him. No chance when Biofrost comes in. Great collapse from them. Svenskeren jumping back out, stays alive, and Bjergsen in the backside, able to just soak up so much damage here and be so disruptive. There's just no way that TL can take down Bjergsen without a concerted effort, and their team is already so split. Doublelift, though, gets taken out by Phoenix. He's doing a good job surviving as best he possibly can and actually ends up getting out. So Phoenix playing these fights well. He's 3-0-4 and up CS in the mid lane. Has been playing admirably and is kind of the hope for TL right now.
He has, but the team fight power of TSM is just still too good. Biofrost has made some amazing engages on the Alistar. Haunter's found the flanks as well, and Bjergsen happy to dive in and secure all the kills. So the cohesion of TSM seemingly too much for Liquid to deal with. They cannot quite stand up to the might of North America's top team. And TSM say, you know what, we'll do 1 more Baron bait to try to close this out. They'll get rid of the wards. And as the top inhibitor has respawned, there's nothing too easy about the Liquid base.
Haunter is pushing in. There's only 1 inhibitor turret remaining, 1 Nexus turret remaining. The other 2 are wide open. So it's only going to take 1 big fight for TSM to close this one out.
And we'll see if that fight comes for them soon, or if Liquid can make the miracle defense and start turning the game back around. We have seen larger comebacks even this week in North America. There's always the chance that it happens. TSM very rarely are the team to make those kinds of mistakes to allow it. As Liquid are just playing defense, just farming up. The Void Staff's been done on Phoenix for a while. The death cap is not far away, so if he can find the money. Actually, he's almost at combined cost right now. He's very, very close to just finishing death cap. If he has the money, like, it should be on this wave. He needs to recall and buy. That is a huge power spike to help Liquid win a team fight.
Death cap late game is massive. The passive AP you do gain in addition to the completion bonus you get is absolutely huge, and he's going to back right now. Should be able to complete that up if calculations are correct, but he is going to be very strong, and he has to be, because Fabi is just not going to be able to contribute as much as someone like Doublelift in these fights. With, you know, he's basically been outscaled.
In utility and in damage.
Yeah.
Only thing Doublelift doesn't quite have is safety, but even then, the threat of the Gnar, the Vlad, the Alistar still makes Fabi's life difficult. So here we go. This is the brightest point Azir could have in this game. These items. This is up to Phoenix to win the team fight. Looking for a bit of damage. He's okay on this one. Still can regen up decently. TSM wearing 3 different colors of Drakes. Liquid only with Cloud themselves. Trying to play for vision. Haunter's actually on the bot side of the map, but TSM know they have priority on the top side. There's only 1 Nexus turret, and so they're going to dictate the pace. Great shot calling, very crisp. Making sure Liquid must follow them from weird positioning. Walk through wards, walk through their own jungle, try to trail as TSM look to collapse down together.
It's basically exactly what they did last time to get that top inhibitor and the inhibitor turret. They're not able to fully commit to it. Felt a little bit nervous there, and you always have to be careful making those plays because you are corralling yourself. You have to leave an exit path for your escape.
Yeah, the TSM were able to do so, matching the
Elder's
Cloud
getting
Drake
pinged.
movement speed. Yeah, the Elder Drake is up, but keep in mind it's very far away from the open inhibitors that Liquid need to defend. TSM are known for trading one objective for one objective and then just collapsing on the enemy team, getting them in the open field and going for the battle. So Liquid gonna look at Elder Dragon as their push in. They have Lorla with teleport away from the team. Here comes TSM looking to close it out right now. Here's the teleport flank. Here comes the play. Dardoch's gotta get away and Phoenix is gonna get flanked. He's gotta be real careful. He's gonna get jumped on and he's dead immediately. Did not respect the TSM engage. It's a 5v4 without Liquid's most dangerous member. There's no chance for Liquid to win this fight anymore. They've got to run and clear mid, but TSM could just win the game off this right now.
They can go straight to the open inhibs. No reason to deal with these turrets and go for the end. There's only one Nexus turret. It's not much protection at all for TL. They're going to have to come up huge if they want to hold on.
This is a slim to none chance right now. TSM to lock in their playoff bye with the win right here. There's the flashing game. They're looking for Doublet, but there's just no damage output left. Fabi's already gone. Doublet cutting away from Lorlo, gets the kill off anyway. Dardoch is the only one who stands between them and defeat, and not even him anymore. TSM gonna make it their 7th straight 2-0 match win. They secure the playoff bye. Beautiful.
Punching their ticket to the playoffs. TSM is on such a run lately, and Liquid coming into this, pegged by many as the 3rd best team in the league. TSM makes it look easy.
They really do. And both games actually looked quite a bit different. In game 1, they were trying to be lane dominant. They had that sweet triple kill early on in the game. They just snowballed off that. Okay, great to make that gank happen, but you know, congratulations, you got a 2,000 gold lead early, you snowballed that. Game 2, they were the one losing kills in the top lane, kills in the bottom lane, still managed to outmacro their opponents, make the rotations happen, get around the map, and, well, again, they did a beautiful job at knocking down Liquid.
It feels like even with those disadvantages, even when they get outplayed individually, it just does not matter. They play so well as a team. Lorlo was doing incredibly in these 1v1 matchups against Haunter, and in the second game, that early 2v2 kill on Doublelift, you would think that would spell disaster in an already disadvantageous lane, but Svenskeren able to be up there helping his team out, and Doublelift, you know, it's not long until he's once again ahead of Fabi, and it just looked like whatever TL did, TSM had the answer.
And it feels like you can give props to every single member on TSM. Once again, Bjergsen, control over his lane, keeping Phoenix from roaming very much. Some nice flanks from him overall. Biofrost with some incredible flash headbutt pulverizing engages to catch people off guard. And it felt like at no point in this game was Liquid ready for it. They never were ready for the 1200 range Alistar knock-in. When Phoenix died in the last fight, he still had flash up. He didn't expect the fact that there was going to be an Alistar coming in. Flash headbutt pulverizes him. There's all your damage up, but gone right away.
And the flank from Bjergsen, they set it up beautifully. As soon as TL committed to the Elder, they opened themselves up to that flank, and that was the first time that Phoenix died the entire game. He actually did 42,000 champion damage. The next highest in the game was Bjergsen at 22,000, and the next highest on his team is below that. So this guy was a monster the whole game. He was actually up on farm, had never died, and just the one mistake from TL means TSM jumps on it.